Q&A?
Are we having fun yet?
Okay. What's up, guys? This is Sundays with Clan. Now, you might be wondering what this is. What segment is this? Well, basically, this segment is we're going to be looking at Q&As in which Patreon and YouTube members have given. Now, if you also want your question answered on Sundays with Clan, all you got to do is become a YouTube member, Patreon member, and you're going to see the opportunity for it. All right, I'm going to make some type of post like this one here, or you can go over here to patreon.com, and it'll be right here. If you want to join, link in the description. But let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, excuse me. This is going to be very laid back, okay? No editing, nothing crazy, all right? It's going to be very laid back. Going to feel more like a live stream. But I do want to go ahead and get into the first question. So this is actually a really good question. So this is from Necron, and he says, is Lonnie in a slump or is this it? Now, he did ask this a few days ago, and as we know, Lonnie Walker did phenomenal this past game. If we can see here, let's see here. So this is, Lonnie Walker right here. He went 7 for 13, 2 for 6 from 3. He did a few good things in there, you know, 2 steals, an assist, 4 rebounds. We're not really expecting him to be a facilitator, which is really weird because I was expecting him to be a facilitator this season, but that's just not the case. But he had 21 total points, and you're asking, do I feel like he's in a slump? Now, I am going to be charitable since you did ask that question beforehand, but I'm going to say this, all right? I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. When it comes to Lonnie Walker, I'm iffy. I'm iffy because, yes, I can sit here and say he's inconsistent. Everybody and their mama has said that Lonnie Walker is inconsistent. We all know Lonnie Walker can be pretty inconsistent. But here's my thing with Lonnie. I think, and this is just my thoughts, all right? This is just my opinion. I think that Lonnie Walker, the points that he got against these Warriors, although I was excited about it, although I was praising him for it, I have to be honest in saying it was a lot of easy ones, okay? It was a lot of Warriors being tired, not closing in. He's getting, you know, using his athleticism and getting to the rim. It wasn't quite the Houston Rockets game, if you know what I mean. And that's one thing that I'm a little worried about, because when it comes to Lonnie, I think that Lonnie Walker has the potential to be that guy, or at least at this point, at least the third option. I just don't think he'll consistently be that. Also, if I'm just going off this past game, I'm just not going to bank on it. Like when we talking about Derek White, the reason why I can sit here and praise Derek White and say, oh yeah, Derek White's back in form, is because I've seen enough of Derek White over the past few years where I can go ahead and make an assumption that, no, he's probably back in form. He's probably back doing what he does. And yeah, he looks, you know, normal. But when it comes to Lonnie Walker, he's always been inconsistent. Like I can't pinpoint any point in Lonnie Walker's career where he hasn't been inconsistent. Now, when you're saying the slump, I'm assuming you're talking about these 10 points per game, and that's awful. I do believe that Lonnie Walker would do better than this. To be fair, almost everyone on our roster kind of struggled throughout this season somewhat. Maybe apart from DeJounte Murray, but even DeJounte Murray had a couple games that weren't that great. So just overall, my thoughts, I honestly, I know this is going to be a bailout. I don't know. I don't know. If I had to put money on it, I'm going to put money on he remains inconsistent. And that's just my thoughts, only because that's what I've seen. And there's really nothing I've seen from Lonnie Walker where I can say definitely, oh no, he's back, or well, he would have never been back because he's never been really consistent. But there's no way I can just sit back and say, oh yeah, Lonnie Walker is about to, you know, be that guy all of a sudden. I don't see that. But hopefully he can, you know, hopefully he gets back to what he can do, like if you're thinking about the Houston game. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with no. I think that he remains in the slump somewhat. But yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. And we have, oh, sorry, you guys can't even see it on the screen. I'm sorry. John Mendez. Actually, can I zoom in on here? Like I said, guys, real laid back stream. All right, we're not doing anything crazy. All right, you can see it now. He says, I think I got one. He said, how many players on this current roster do you see in our future? That's actually a really good question. All right, so let me bring up our roster. All right, so we're looking at this roster in our future. Now that's a tough one. Hold on, let me have some this Sunday. By the way, this isn't a Sunday, it's just ice cream. What's the difference? Okay, check it out. All right, this is my thing. In our future. So, let's see, if I was a betting man, I would assume Brent Forbes will be gone. Okay, that's not really our future necessarily. He's a role player. He's not going to be like a Patty Mills Spurs legend, but he'll be gone pretty soon. He's just kind of filling a role that we need right now. That's going to be filled again once probably Primo or Joe Wieskamp is ready for the NBA. Let's see, Drew Eubanks. I'm gonna go ahead. You know what? Let's do this. This is what I'm gonna do. That's a really great question, and I should have had this up beforehand. This would be better. Let's look up Spurs salaries. I think that'd be, this would be better to look at. All right, so let's see here. In our future, if I'm gonna say this, if Derek White is gone, which I don't know if a team will take him for this amount of money, which this is actually a bargain if you're the San Antonio Spurs. I'm being honest for much that he does for us. But other teams, I don't know. They might be like, I'm not sure. I don't know. DeJounte Murray. All right, so I'm going to say this. I'm going to put my money on it, all right? We know that the Spurs love Derek White and DeJounte Murray. Like, these are two guys that they really wanted to draft. I was told by Swishio, he heard some information out there in these rumors, okay, that Derek White, that the Spurs actually wanted Kyle Kuzma, which we all knew that, but they were definitely going to go after Derek White. And once Kyle Kuzma left, they were like, whew, well, we don't have to make a decision because we love us some Derek White. That's kind of, I've heard the rumors as well. So they love Derek White. They love DeJounte Murray. They actually want to trade up to get DeJounte Murray. So they put a lot of time and effort into these two guys. So if I put money on it, I'm a betting man. They're here for the future. I'm just going to assume, okay? Derek White, his playing style, DeJounte Murray's playing style, even though they're not necessarily in the timeline, necessarily DeJounte more so, but I think when it's all said and done, you're going to need guys like this, okay? So if I had to put money on it, I'm going to go ahead and assume that they stay. If not, I think they get traded. I'll say this. They'll either get traded before All-Star break or they're here for the long haul. And that's just how I feel about it. The only way I see these two guys leaving is if the Spurs really want to go up in the draft or something like that. But other than that, I think they're here for the future. Thad Young, no. Doug McDermott, no. He might be here these few years, I'm assuming. But when we're talking future, I'm sure you're talking like 3-4 years out. Obviously, he was gone. Yaka, ooh, that's a tough one. Yaka Pirtle. I'm gonna say no, and I'll tell you why. I think Yaka Pirtle is showing so much potential right now. He's playing so well with us. I think that he's gonna ask for more money than we're willing to give, and I also believe that in this next draft that we're gonna get a legitimate big man that will be able to replace him. Now that is a question of Zach Collins. Strangely enough, and this is just an if, okay, if Zach Collins is healthy, I could definitely see him being in the long run. Just his personality, he's definitely a Spurs type player. Defensively, he's pretty great. Offensively, he's pretty great. And if you match him up with another legitimate big that we can get out of, let's say, the draft, I think that's a really good look. So thus far, I got Derek White future, Murray future, Zach Collins future. Obviously Brent Forbes gone. Lonnie Walker, I don't see Lonnie Walker sticking around. And as I said before, I don't necessarily think that he's future material right now. I'm just not seeing it. Hopefully, we get there. Devin Vassell, yes. Let's see who we got here. Josh Primo, obviously. Luka's gone. Keldon, yes. I'm gonna say yes to Keldon. I think by the time we hit this year where he's making nearly $6 million, I think he's going to be a much better player than he is right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, Keldon stays. And also when I was saying that if you had to get rid of Derek White and DeJounte to go up in the draft, I don't think you'll have to also add in Keldon Johnson. I think if you put DeJounte Murray in that and the Spurs did decide to do that, then you wouldn't have to add Keldon. I think that would be more than enough. Nor do I think the Spurs would even do that. They love DeJounte and Derek so much. Obviously, I said with Drew Eubanks, that's an iffy one, man. I'm gonna say if we can keep him on this contract and he signed back, possibly. But I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I think the Spurs got some really great options for bigs, and I'm just not gonna see a place for Drew Eubanks at this point. Even this last game, actually, he didn't play at all. He hasn't been playing a lot ever since Pirtle came back. I don't know if they even have a use for him. Actually, even when Pirtle was gone, they didn't have a use for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the assumption that Eubanks is gone. Keita Bates, he seems like a really good practice guy, but as far as future, nah, he'll probably be gone in a few years. Trey Jones is a really tough one. Okay, he's a legitimate point guard, and this is gonna be a big iffy. But if the Spurs were to in the draft or before All-Star, we can get rid of one of these two guys, I think he sticks around. He plays good off the pick and roll, and with a legitimate big man, that would be pretty nice. And Jakob's doing great too. I'm not trying to minimize what Jakob does by any means. Like, Jakob's that guy. Jock Landale, it's not enough for me to see yet for me to say he's in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not gonna make a decision on that one. And Joe Wieskamp, I think Joe Wieskamp is really good, like really good. So thus far, who do I have for our future? If I had to put money on it, I'm gonna go ahead and say Derek White, DeJounte, Zach Collins, Devin Vassell, Josh Primo, Keldon, and I think that's about. And Joe Wieskamp. Yeah. Everyone else is just like, I don't know. It's weird. We're still paying DeMar. Is that right? Dude, we're still paying DeMar Carroll, guys. What the heck? We're still paying him? Oh my gosh, dude. Paying him for nothing, too. He complained the whole time he was here. All right, okay. Let's go ahead and go to the next question. Before we do, let's have some Sundaes. I hope everyone else has a sundae or some ice cream somewhere. By the way, if you want something low carb, man, Rebel is where it's at, y'all. All right. Let's do this. Okay. All right. Philip Allen. Oh, crap. You guys can't see it. By the way, Philip Allen, you were the winner to the last giveaway for the Patreon member, so I still got to send that out to you, my boy. All right, but he says, here's a quick one for you right now, Clan. All right. If you had to swap one of the big three, Timmy, TP9, Manu, for a player from another team, who would it be and who would you swap for? I know you can't see that. So here's the thing. The way that I'm interpreting your question is that you're asking, who would I swap for currently? Like, what player currently would I swap for one of these players? Not like during that time, because if it was during that time, I mean, I would easily like say like Kobe or something, right? So I'm sure you're not saying that easy. But even this answer I'm going to give is kind of a swap out. Now this is kind of I don't know. It's kind of a Weasley way of answering this, but let me say this. Timmy, irreplaceable. Okay? There's no one in the NBA right now that I would swap out for Timmy. All right? Manu, you see where this is going, right? Manu, no one I would swap out for Manu. Like, irreplaceable type of player. Tony Parker is that guy. Don't get me wrong. Tony Parker was fast. He was quick. He's a big part of why we won those championships. I love me some TP9. All right. He's that guy. Okay. But there were some things, during his reign with the Spurs that were a little controversial. And we don't have to get into that. So out of these three, I would go with TP9 basically because not only the controversy, but there is a point guard I have in mind right now that I think that you could probably swap in for Tony Parker and be just as good. And who is that guy I'm talking about? I gotta go with CP3. I said CP9. CP3. Yeah, I would go with Chris Paul. Because here's the thing. When it comes to Chris Paul, I think Chris Paul is it's not that I think he is a very clutch player, but he's really great off the pick and rolls. And although Tony Parker was that guy, he was really great at the mid-range, later on in his career. He was very, great around the rim. I just feel like if you swap out TP9 for like CP3, even though you get a different style, playing style, I think he fit in right with these guys. I don't think that he'll be a problem. I know sometimes he's kind of controversial. Like sometimes people kind of see him as a controversial player, but yeah, and that's just because other players in the NBA don't like him. But I think him matched up with like Manu and Tim Duncan, like that's kind of heat, bro. Like he will be able to shoot on any point on the court. He fits in the modern NBA and the old. Like, and you remember Chris Paul, like back during his Hornets. Was it Hornets? He was with the Hornets, right, guys? New Orleans Hornets. He was phenomenal, man. He was really phenomenal back in the day, him and David West. So I would definitely probably go with Chris Paul. If I had to swap out, ooh, my Sunday went down my throat. But yeah, that's what I would go with. I really want to know what other people think about this, because this is actually a really great question. But man, it seems like a tough one. But like out of the three, I gotta go with the one that's just the most replaceable, even though all three were irreplaceable. You know, I don't know. And then even with the little bit of controversy from TP9, I mean, Chris Paul, you know, there's a little controversy with him and players not liking him. I mean, I could just swap in one slightly controversial point guard for another more largely. He's not largely controversial. All right. But yeah, that's my take on that. But yeah, so look, this was the very first Sunday with Clan. I hope you guys liked it, man. I hope you liked the Sunday. Did you guys have a Sunday? I hope you had a Sunday. These were really great questions. I actually took them from, when I went live, I let the chat know that I'm going to be doing this on Sunday. And these were Patreon YouTube members. So if you guys also want to have your questions answered, and I'll make posts like this again, so don't worry. Once you become a patron, whatever, or a YouTube member, you'll get the members only, where you'll get the question or the Q&A, or, you know, if you're a Patreon member, you'll see it on here. Like I'll post something very similar to the Patreon. So yeah, so if you guys want that answered, link in the description for that. And if you're wondering like how much it is, like, Clan, I don't have $50 a month for it. It's only $2. Okay. It's only $2, all right? It's nothing crazy, all right? If you want to give a little bit more, that's fine. Right now, as you can see, we got 27. Yeah, we're at 27 patrons. So yeah, $2. You know, if you want to give more, that's fine. Also, I'm gonna give back a monthly giveaway each month, and obviously that's my boy. Where you at? Philip Allen. So Philip Allen won. Philip Allen actually won twice. So yeah, you guys probably need to go ahead and get on this, because it's going to be very easy if we don't get the members up. But I appreciate all the love, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first very segment of Sundays with Clan. Until next time, I'll get with you guys later, man. Peace.